Well, hello. Welcome back to the AMAZE Me recording with myself, Amanda Baker, and it is just me today. So I don't have anybody lined up for any interviews and recordings. I don't like calling them interviews, authentic conversations. So it's just me. And I don't fully know what we're going to talk about, which is typical. I mean, this is how this all got started with myself showing up, recording myself on camera on my phone for me. And I tend to do that a lot. I talk to myself. I also still record myself talking to process, to understand, to see what comes, because I believe that through our open voice, not really thinking before speaking and just allowing whatever to come comes from a different truth inside of us or a different voice inside of us. And that truth is really the truth of the moment. And so our truths can change. And so what's alive today? What was coming to me just before signing on was tension. So I want to talk about tension, gain a better understanding for myself of tension, and also offer that out here when I share this, because that is what these have turned into. Myself speaking and recording it and then sharing it for whoever wants to listen. So tension is, I guess, a theme in most of our lives. It exists. And it is a message, I could say, that I often share. I am a yoga instructor and I offer what I call therapeutic yoga. I made it up, though it is an integration of yoga and psychology. I am 500-hour trained as a yoga instructor with 200 hours in Hatha Raja yoga and 300 hours in yoga psychology. Though what I facilitate isn't fully from the trainings. And what I emphasize a lot in the classes is becoming more comfortable with your discomfort. And discomfort is tension. When we are uncomfortable, we usually have a response inside of ourselves that feels tense. And that tension usually arises from two opposing things occurring at the same time. It can be more than one opposing thing, but often like it's two and it's inner conflict. And often we then believe, well, I got to pick one. Here's this inner conflict inside of me and I need to know which one. So I talk about tension as also being that space in between the two uncomfortable things or the multiple uncomfortable things and staying there. And it's funny to me because I share these things about tension, where it arises psychologically, how it comes up in yoga as like a symbolic practice of being with that tension, getting into an uncomfortable yoga position or shape and remaining there, to go right to that comfortable edge where it starts to become uncomfortable, and being willing to stay there or step over that line and stay there. That's how we grow our capacity. That's probably a word that you hear a lot. Like, do you have the emotional capacity, or is that person emotionally available? Do they have the capacity to be with you, to hold the space? Do you have the capacity to hold the space? And if you don't, then you're not emotionally available. And we reduce people to these labels. And I guess language is helpful, while ultimately it's really discerning for yourself of who and what and where you want to be around. Because maybe if that space or that person or those people don't have the capacity, that doesn't mean necessarily that you can't be there, because you also have capacity for your own discomfort, for your own tension. Then you can decide, okay, if this isn't growing, if this isn't changing, then yeah, you can decide this is not working for me. So to go back to tension, because what I am finding comical is that I speak about tension a lot. I work with tension a lot. I help people be with their tension, evolve with their tension, become more comfortable with their discomfort. And yet I laugh because it's also really hard for me. And I could say like, okay, I failed. There was tension and I failed. But no, I mean, well, failure, yeah, I could put it in that language, and failure is helpful because how do you get back up from that? Also, the acceptance and the embracing of my humanness, that there's going to still be tension. And when I'm not able to be with my own tension, hold it, allow it, because, and I'll speak to this more in time. I propose, just speaking here, with whatever comes and however order it comes, that the longer the tension gets to grow, this is my belief, and then I'm going to share a story, is where the magic is. It's where bigger and better things reveal themselves. I truly, truly, in this moment in time, believe that and find that to be truth. And we hear that, Carl Jung says, hold the tension of the opposites. When you stay with that tension of the opposites without needing to solve it, without needing to fix it, without collapsing it, oh my gosh, like amazing things occur. What he says is the answer reveals itself. When you hold the tension of the opposite, the answer will reveal itself. That doesn't mean you're going to like the answer, though sometimes we think we got the answer, but we did not hold the tension long enough. And I don't think that means like, okay, hold the tension, hold the tension, hold the tension, hold the tension, on and on and on and on, and just keep holding the tension, because some people will live in that tension. They'll stay there too long. More so than not, we collapse the tension. We shut down to it. We avoid. We detach. We disconnect. Because we think that we give meaning to it. We say there's this tension here and it must be this, and I don't like it. Tension can be, I use words like discomfort, pressure, unsettledness, anxiety, because that can be a response to tension. When there's tension in the unknown, because that's what you're holding the unknown, you're in the void. And then it was learned, well, scary things happen here. Scary things happen. Maybe as a kid, there was discomfort and tension, and then you got yelled at because maybe the person with you could not hold that tension. It can also create irritability. And I was having like a couple weeks ago, like so much irritability. I was like, where is this coming from? Something must be wrong, off. What is this irritability trying to tell me? And I was trying to figure it out because I didn't want to be irritable, and people don't like Amanda when she's irritable. People are uncomfortable with Amanda when she's irritable. I didn't really know why I was irritable, and it could be a plethora of things. At first I was like, maybe it's my diet, or maybe it's my hormones or my menstrual cycle. Maybe it's this person in my life. Maybe it's this dynamic that I'm staying in that I'm agreeing to. Maybe I don't need to know yet. Maybe I need to embrace my irritability. Like, it's okay to be irritable. It is okay to annoy people. And eventually, I think that irritability was, this was months ago, about things that I was involved in that I didn't want to be involved in anymore. And I had a hard time letting go. And and it was not just that. And there were things that I was holding in my body that were really old that eventually did come to the surface that I had to face. But I couldn't make it come faster than it was coming. It came because the timing occurred when the timing was meant to occur. Trust the timing. Because we often feel like we need to rush, we often feel like we need to control, that time is running out, or that things are moving too slowly. Really, it's living in the moment and the experience that is arising in you. And that, of course, we're not perfect and we're still going to try to figure things out or use a coping strategy to feel better. Change your diet. All those things are useful. And again, I'm not perfect at this either. Though I love having some realizations that can be useful for understanding. The curiosity towards myself, what's showing up, and offering that to others. So there are a lot of words for tension, discomfort, irritability, anxiety. Some of those, though, are responses to tension. It's just, here's tension. Tension's a little more neutral than anxiety. I think anxiety is a response to tension of, oh, I'm not used to this discomfort or this tension in this uncertainty. Like I said, it's the void space. And so we fill it. We fill in the blanks with meaning, with ways to control or solve or shut down. So I invite you, what if you don't? To be in that tension, because here's my story. So I believe that in that space between, in the unknown, maybe you've lost access to like sharing what you're feeling, and so there's tension because you're not really sure what you're feeling. Because then there can be a feeling there. Like, oh, I'm feeling judged, feeling joy, I'm feeling disconnected, I'm feeling like I want this, but you don't know it. And so it's hard then to communicate that. And so there's tension. Okay, let that be. I don't have an answer, or I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what's next. I don't know if I want to move towards this way or this way. So I'm right here. And sometimes I'll have people say, I've gone off tangent and I haven't gone into the story yet. But sometimes I'll have people say like, Amanda, I've just been in that space for so long. Like I'm just in the unknown. Like I want to change jobs, or I want to move, or I want a new car, or I want to redecorate my house, but there's all these reasons not to, or there's all these reasons not to change jobs. And I've just been staying there, and I've been there for so long. But have you been there in the tension for that long, or have you been avoiding? So here's where it's like they say they stay there for so long and they're stuck. If you feel stuck, you're not actually in the tension, because the tension is friction. The tension is aliveness. The tension is desire. And then I'm going to get to the story on why it is desire. The tension is duality. The tension is polarity. And that's what keeps us motivated. So when we get caught up in circumstances or situations like a relationship or a job, and it goes stale and it's boring, it's monotonous, it's repetitive, it's not exciting, it's not alive, because you've lost the tension, which to me, polarity, duality, that is our earthly life. As humans, because we have consciousness, we need duality. Our relationships thrive off of polarity. And this is my view. I don't think this really fits what some of the mainstream things or spiritual things or psychology, dating things say about polarity. But to me, polarity is tension and it's desire. So we need some of the opposites. We need some of the differences. One thing I realized about myself is like, oh, I want someone who's just like me, or I want someone who loves like me, cares in the same way I care. And maybe not. It's too similar. If it's too similar, it's not as exciting. It's safe, but it's not as exciting. Or there can be those differences. But again, if the tension, that friction, doesn't stay alive because we've learned to not like it. So we try to solve it because we think there's tension and friction, something's wrong. How do I solve it? How do I fix it? Or there's tension and there's friction, and I'm going to collapse into it. It's going to kill the attraction. So how does that, see, I still haven't gotten the story. I'm going to come back to it. But how does that come up? Meaning what leads to collapsing? When you overgive, you self-abandon, or you pull away, you shut down, you go into shame, you go into your inadequacy. I'm not enough. I did something wrong. Now I'm feeling fear. Fear's the huge one. Fear is the underlying current of people pleasing, self-abandonment, overgiving and overextending and overfunctioning for the other person, holding it all for the other person, fixing them, making them feel better. Oh, it is my responsibility to make them feel better because then it's going to be more comfortable. Then the tension is gone. Like, live in that, seriously, like live in that tension. Like, oh my gosh, they don't like me. I'm worried they don't like me. I'm worried I did something wrong, that I'm annoying. I mean, these are my things. These are mine, that I get triggered by, I guess, or anxious by. When we talk about staying, it's like staying in that friction with yourself. You can also share it. I'm not going to get what I want. I'm not going to get what I want. Panic, alarm, anxiety. I got to control. I got to manipulate. And that tension, so that tension is gone. So that discomfort is gone. So that fear is gone. And the opposite, like I said, what comes up for you with that? So desire grows in the tension and in the friction. If we are constantly assuring and giving in, solving, fixing, or like I said, collapsing can be going in and overgiving. That's collapsing, self-abandonment, people pleasing. Collapsing is also, I'm uncomfortable. This is too much. I don't know what to do. I feel suffocated. They want all this from me. So you pull away. Or, oh, there was closeness, and then you pull away. Because closeness can be associated with, I'm going to lose myself, or can be associated with, over, like, I'm responsible for them. I'm responsible for them. Smothering can feel smothering. And again, all these things can be happening like internally without it actually occurring. You just think that's how you're perceiving of things. And then it can also be like very, very like real. Like maybe someone is expecting all of that from you. But look, like, see, is that here? Is that here? Or is that my stuff coming up? Is that their stuff coming up? And absolutely communicate about it. While that doesn't mean that it's going to be resolved, because you can share where you are without resolving it. You can share where you are without pulling away, without shutting down, without going into shame, or you can say, I need some space. I need some time. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do when we're used to not being in the tension and in the friction. And we could say, okay, staying with the tension and the friction is capacity, if we feel like we need that word. So, story about desire and how I relate or came to understand that our desire grows in that space between. And the longer we stay there, the bigger it grows, and maybe the more you receive. So, my son, we went away for a weekend. Myself, my son, and my son's dad, the father. And that's weird to say, the father, uh, his father. And at this place, there was an arcade, and you get tickets, and you know how those things work. When you're at the arcade and you get tickets, you then get to get prizes. And so, of course, my son got a certain amount of tickets, and he wanted the bigger prizes, the prizes that were worth more tickets than he had. And so because what he wanted, he didn't have enough tickets for, he kept trying to ask, like, can we go get more tickets? Can we play more games? Or can we just buy this? Or why can't I have this one? I really want this one. And he didn't want any of the other things. And we were there for a while as he was saying that he wanted the bigger ones. You know, most parents are like, you know, you've gotten enough. These are the tickets that you have. Like pick a smaller one. And we were doing that at first. And then like again, like the things that we learn to say as parents that are like, you already have enough stuff. You really don't need more. Why aren't you grateful for what you have? Like you got these tickets, like let's be happy with this one. No, not me anymore. So he then began to cry. Understandable. He wanted the bigger things. And I want to promote and embrace that bigness. Like, of course you want the bigger thing. Of course you want the bigger stuffed animal, the one that's worth more tickets. And you're deserving of that. I don't like the word deserving. You're worthy of that. You're allowed to want that. And so he decided that he wasn't going to get anything, but he was really sad, like really sad and crying. And so we left that space, and then he's mad. He's mad because he's not getting what he wants. Valid. Again, valid. Of course you're mad. You want this bigger thing. You have this bigger desire. I'm saying this to him, like you have this desire for more. So then I said, guess what? You're going to get it. You're going to continue to want what you want, and you are going to get it. We just don't know when, and we don't know how. You're going to get that bigger thing, that exact stuffed animal that you keep asking for. And there were like 3 different ones that he wanted. I was like, or you're going to get something even better. Like, we just wait. But while we're waiting, we still live. And it's uncomfortable and it's tense. So can you shift that tension into love? Because your love grows. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger the longer you wait. Again, I don't love the word wait. It's growing. is growing. The more space between what you want and what isn't here yet is where your desire gets to grow bigger and becomes more powerful. So I explained this to him. He's really into my yoga bolsters. He's really loving my yoga bolsters. And he brings them everywhere. Right? Like in the car. So they came on the trip with us. And when we first got there, he realized that he left it in the car and he wanted to go get it. And we talk about how these yoga bolsters, their purpose is for support, and they're comfy and they're soft and they love you and you love them. And the color, because they're like this turquoise green, it's like my favorite color. And like, we love them for their color and we love this yoga bolster. And he wanted to get it right away. He was like, I want it right now. And I said, we're not getting it right now. We will get it later. We'll get it after dinner. The longer we wait, the more love grows between you and the bolster. So do you want little love or do you want big love? And he said, I want big love. Okay. Okay. So we're not giving in to receiving it right now. Not giving in, and this is again like the symbolism, not giving in to assurance right now. Not giving in to solving right now. And we're not shutting down. Meaning we're not saying, I don't get the yoga bolster, like shut down, close yourself off. I'm upset, I'm mad, I don't like this feeling. So detach, disconnect, shut down. Or I'll hear him say like, I don't want the yoga bolster anymore. I don't want it anymore. I'm mad. I don't want it. So we had said that earlier. And so then later when he wanted this stuffed animal, which I'm very much like, you can want everything and all. What you want matters and you are allowed to want it. We just don't know when you're going to get it. And in time, you might realize that's not even what I wanted anymore because I got this better thing. I got this bigger stuffed animal next week because we went to a different arcade or we came back. Helping him to realize that his love and desire and want for something can be so big and that he has the ability to like be in that bigness of what he wants. So it becomes tension when it's like, I want it and it's not here. I want it and I'm not having it. It doesn't have to stay as tension. It's not like that tension of like, is it coming? Is it coming? Am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? When am I going to get it? That's like compulsion and fear. But my desire for what this stuffed animal that, we talk about is like, he wants it because it's important. It matters. He wants it because it's important to him, and what he wants is important to me. And so why would I shut that down and be like, that one's too big, that one's too much, take the small one, or you're not grateful. So when I was telling him and he got to hear me like validate his desire and what he wants and to say, of course you want it. We just don't have enough right now and I can't make more tickets and points appear. But we can love how much you want this, that you love this thing, that it matters to you, that's important, that it's important to you. And the longer that you allow that to exist, to stay alive, because your desire is your aliveness, that aliveness is your eros. I think as a woman or a man, we all have the feminine in us. Continuing with the story. So he settles. And he's like, Mom, I want it so much and I love it. Just like the bolsters. I'm like, yeah. And how good does that feel? Feel it in your body right now. And he was funny because he was like, I'm going to be thinking about it in school tomorrow. It's like, I'm going to just be thinking about that stuffed animal in school. And I'm like, yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. Because you want it and it matters. Again, not obsessive compulsion, but this stuffed animal matters to me and is important to me. So of course you're going to think about it. And then I said, when you think about it from love, not fear. Am I going to get it? When is it going to come? Why didn't I get it? I wanted it so bad and now I'm sad, right? It can also be sadness. It can also be grief. And all of that too is real. They're also representative of the love that you have for the thing or desire that you want. And that's how you shift the tension to desire, the tension to love. You're tense with whatever it is that you're about because you love something so much. You're tense about leaving your job because maybe the job's not making you happy and you want something else that's more fulfilling. You love yourself. Yeah. But it's tension because this old job was familiar. This old job is safe. That's safety. You care about yourself. You love yourself. You want safety. That's from care and love. You want a new job that's more fulfilling, that maybe has better hours, maybe it's better pay, maybe it's more of your passion and your purpose. Yeah, you desire that. But it's tense because you're like, I don't know what to do, and that's scary. But you do know what to do. You do know what to do. You're just not ready yet, and it's okay to hold it. Because it will start moving towards you. You will start moving towards it. That's polarity and duality when they start coming closer together. But that's not control, that's energy. You have, it's like I get so passionate about it. It's like, I'm gonna say, you have to stay connected to the tension and the desire. You don't have to do anything. Those are just my views. So with my son, he was thinking, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna be thinking about it. It's gonna make me distracted at school. Yeah, yeah. But that's not what happened because then he decided that we were going to go back into the arcade and look again. I can't make this stuff up. and and look again. And I'm going to start crying. Um, at the items, at the prizes. Because it was his autonomy and his choice. So if he decided that he didn't want to get a bigger one and just wanted to go with a smaller one by that point because he felt more settled, because he felt probably seen and heard and validated for what he wanted, as opposed to me saying, well, like, that's not possible, or I've done all I can. Like, I've done all I can to try to get you the bigger one. But that's not what I said. So he's settled. It's incredible. So we go in there, and a woman comes up to us. And she's like, I have this extra card. There's 100 points on it. Do you want it? Thank you. We want it. Well, 100 points was still not enough for the one he wanted. However, I said, let's check the card. And I don't know why. I don't know why she said 100, because when we scanned the card, there were 300 points, which was exactly enough with the points he already had, or the tickets he already had, 300 tickets from the woman that said it was only 100, and then the ones we had, which led to 1,000 something, so he could get the stuff down. That came to him because he was willing to be uncomfortable, to express himself, to say, I want this one, to feel valid in wanting big and more. And it not being considered selfish, it not being considered ungrateful. And he was uncomfortable, and I was there. And he, 8 years old, shifted himself from being upset and angry and uncomfortable and anxious and sharing, I'm going to fixate because he knows himself, to love and desire. Your tension is indicative of what you want. Your tension or that sense of pressure is or anxiety, irritability, your uncertainty, your ambivalence of I'm not sure what to do. And to hold that because it's telling you what's important. You don't feel pressure or uncomfortable with things that are not important. And you can shut down to it. You can try to fix it and solve it, or you can let it grow. Because when we got the card with the points or the tickets, we didn't solve that. We let what arrive reveal itself. That he then got to get that thing on that day. Again, it could have not have happened and it could have been like weeks from now. Where it's like, oh, maybe he didn't want that thing anymore because he wanted something else that was bigger and that was better. But that's what occurred, and it was an incredible teachable moment, an eye-opening experience for me too. And still, when I don't get what I want, what I think it's going to be, um, or I think it's not happening, I think it's not occurring fast enough, I clap. And my body lets me know. My body will say, you didn't live in line with your integrity. That's okay. Because I'm human. Or I fell into old patterns, and that's okay. Because I'm human. But I can make that desire come back alive. I can be uncomfortable and recognize that discomfort and that tension, that fear is because someone or something is important to me, fits into my desire, even when I'm scared to say it, and when I'm scared to be really vulnerable. I'm learning and I'm growing and I love it. So this to me fits into our attachment patterns and polarity in relationships, romantic relationships, or even friendships, because we have attachment patterns. We have the anxious, we have avoidance, we have fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant, disorganized, and secure attachment. And a lot of people are like, they want secure attachment. My take is that secure attachment doesn't have as much of that polarity. It doesn't have as much of like the big gap. When we're in the dance of the anxious and the avoidant, and that can happen with a secure person and an avoidant person coming together, there's still going to be that gap. or a secure person and an anxious person. There's still going to be that gap. And we'll hear like, oh, the attraction dies, the attraction fades, it kills the attraction. Not if you're willing to hold the tension of that and the desire that gets created, because people have different erotic desires. Some people want like the shared secure coming to secure and it feeling really steady and safe and um, what do people sometimes say, boring. And I think that can evolve from the insecure attachment styles as well. Though when we view attachment patterns as like pathology or unhealthy, they are when they're unconscious. But when you know yourself and another person knows themselves and you're willing to come and to share, to understand, or maybe you observe and you see like, they're pulling back. Maybe they're a little more avoidant, or, oh, I'm pulling back. Maybe I'm being a little bit more avoidant. That doesn't have to be problematic, because that can contribute to the tension of the desire and the polarity. What happens when we both pull back? What happens when we hold that tension? One person pulls back, another person starts to come closer. Well, we both pull back and then we come together. Or we both come together and then we explode. And so then we pull back. That can be the desire to be chased, the desire to not, or the desire that grows, I should say, the attraction that can grow when you're not spending all your time together, when you're not doing everything together, when you're not in constant harmony. We need some tension, conflict, need to be bothered a little bit. So my take is that the attachment patterns that exist in so many people, because so many people have insecure attachment patterns, can be the arousal, the attraction that gets to grow. Especially if trying to work through your own protective mechanisms. How beautiful to see someone in their fear and be attracted to it. As long as it's not harming you. I want to make that disclaimer. As long as the behavior is not abusive. So you might recognize, like, they're manipulating me. Okay, will you allow yourself to be manipulated? Will you call them out on it? And will they own it? Because that to me is also like shadow. And when we own our shadows, when we share our shadows, when we love our shadows, they evolve over time. Something to think about. Can your attachment style, your insecure attachment style, come together with another person that might have, and it doesn't have to be like your fixed style. They're not fixed. They're not. They're energetic. They're energies. And that's why it's so common for anxious energy to come together with more avoidant energy. Or again, two avoidant energies coming together. And people say, like, when there's no polarity, there's huge polarity when you're both pulling away. Or again, one pulls away and the anxious doesn't rush right in, but they hold their tension. They say, like, oh, I want to go closer. I want to go closer, but not yet, not yet, not yet. I'm going to give space. I'm going to give freedom. The tension is, oh, this person matters to me. That's why I feel so scared and insecure that I'm going to lose that. But I'm going to stay in that and let the desire grow. If you rush in and try to fix and solve, you're collapsing into it. And that's going to affect the attraction, the desire. And the same if you're pulling away and you're shutting down because this is uncomfortable, I'm scared, I'm going to shut down, and then just continue to stay there. You're not going to get anywhere with that, of like, because you're shut down. You're not in the tension anymore. So it still requires conscious awareness, and it still requires choice, devotion, commitment, willingness for yourself to come out of the pattern, but to to appreciate the opportunity of the dynamic to potentially create and continue that aliveness. I'm not sure if that's fully making sense, if I'm explaining all of that well. But that's my talk on tension and desire and polarity and relationships. Let's pull a card. This is the Woodland Warden's deck. I'd love, like, if anyone wants to be like, Amanda, you make no sense. Like, please offer other perspectives. All right, I'm shuffling. What wants to be known, understood, added to the conversation on tension and discomfort, relational dynamics, and the way they can facilitate and provide opportunities for growth and connection, greater intimacy, greater relationship with your child. See how it happens with children. All right, two fell. So it also can be in your friendships too. We have to think, do we want everything to be like comfortable all the time? Hmm. The finch and the peach, romance. And the ladybug and the sweet pea, happiness. Finch and the peach, romance. And I haven't gotten this one before. You see that? Okay. And the ladybug. There was a ladybug in this space earlier today. One of my clients found it and took it with her. So she might appreciate this. Okay, let's read this. 35. Symbols of good luck and fortune. Ladybugs are wonderful insects known to keep garden pests at bay. The sweet pea is a beautiful scented climber. In the Victorian era, sweet peas were given to thank hosts for a lovely time. Combined, the ladybug and the sweet pea represent ease and happiness. You are entering a period of happiness, positivity, and good luck. Celebrate your joy. That's upright. The reverse is beware of taking on too much. You might feel like you have things under control, but balance is delicate. Honor your limits to preserve a happy outlook. What brings me happiness, and how do I invite more joy into my life? It was upside down, so that's why balance. Balance. So Right? It's like you have the extremes, the tension of the opposites. The whole point is to come together. It's like, okay, we flow away like a wave and then we come back together. Or here's me and then here's what I want and what I desire, and it's far away. But eventually, like with my son, eventually it came. But he had to be willing to stay in that, which means move towards it. Means not collapse into his like sadness of I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get it. It's not mine. I'm not allowed to have what I want. I won't get what I want. Or I have to settle. I have to solve and just settle for this other thing. But yeah, that is what brought him closer to the center. And then here's this woman, like, here's this card, had 300 points on it. So that, yeah, joy, joy into your life. Tension becomes love. Tension is love. Tension is love. Tension is love. I'm just gonna keep saying that. The Finch and the Peach. Wow, it's literally the one right after. 36. Love is in the air. Tension is love. Love is in the air when the finch and peach appears. The peach, a sweetly scented, heart-shaped fruit, is associated with fertility, sexuality, and love. The lively finch symbolizes enthusiasm and excitement. Your vibrancy and charm have led to a blossoming romance. Be open and accepting of new love's delights. And so reverse, it says your timidness or unwillingness to take risk will hinder your chances at love. Remember that vulnerability is essential to healthy relationships. How do I show others I love them? How do I feel safe and supported enough to be open to new love? And that's important. I believe that we will not open if we don't feel safe. You will not open if you don't feel safe. Also, sometimes though, you'll miscalculate or misinterpret and think things aren't safe when maybe they are. And you are safe. You are safe. So what is in the way of your sight to seeing it is safe to be here? It is safe to be here. And you might be more vulnerable. But if you are misperceiving something as not safe or holding out until it's completely safe, you'll feel timid, like it says. You won't share exactly what you desire. Specifically, you might say some of it, like me, but not specifically. And I know that now. Mm. hmm Okay, I'm gonna tap. We're gonna tap. These were beautiful cards, especially because tension is love. And it's in you. Hold it, be with it, feel it. Okay, tap on the side of your hand. Even though I might try to avoid and escape and resolve or solve my tension, I am okay. Even though I tend to run away or fix tension and discomfort, I accept myself. Even though I might project my tension as someone else's problem, as someone else needs to relieve it, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Eyebrow, all of this tension, all of this tension, the side of the eye. It's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable underneath the eye. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's overwhelming underneath the nose. And so I've learned to fix it, solve it, analyze it in my brain. So I've learned to fix it and solve it or analyze it in my brain or try to make it go away. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Or shut down to it. Shut down to it. Underneath the arm. Where's the tension in my body? Where is this tension in my body? To the wrist. Usually in my stomach. Chest. Usually in my stomach and chest. Top of the head. Heart beating really fast. Heart beating really fast. The eyebrow. And I often retreat to being alone. I often retreat to being alone. Side of the eye. So then it can feel really lonely. Then it can feel really lonely underneath the eye. And also safe. And also safe underneath the nose. And that's old patterns. That's old patterns. Chin. Where I learned to confuse wanting with tension. Where I learned to confuse wanting with tension. The chest. But perhaps tension is desire. But perhaps tension is desire underneath the arm. That discomfort that indicates something's important. That discomfort indicates that something's important. The wrist. And the longer I allow it, the more it grows. The longer I allow it to not shut down my desire and my wanting. To not shut down my desire and my wanting to the eyebrow, but also not to fixate and obsess. And also not to fixate and obsess on the side of the eye. To keep living presently. To keep living presently underneath the eye. And allowing underneath the nose for information to come towards me. For information to come towards me. Chin. And to also lean into it. And also lean into it. The chest. Information being action. Answers. Ideas. Signs. What you see. Information being action. Ideas. Signs. What you see. Underneath the arms. But sometimes what we need to see hasn't caught up in reality yet. Sometimes what we need to see hasn't caught up in reality yet. Wrist. So we're patient and we let it grow. We're patient and we let it grow to the top of the head, and the desire gets bigger. The desire gets bigger. The eyebrow. It's love. It's love. The side of the eye. Love grows. The love grows. The eye. It starts as a small spark. It starts as a small spark underneath the nose. It gets nurtured. The chin. And it grows. And it grows in the chest. And that feels alive. That feels alive. Underneath the arm. That's motivating. That's motivating. To the rest, it's energizing. It's energizing to the top of that. It's exciting. It's exciting. The eyebrow. Feels good. Feels good. Side of the eye. It's your joy. Live your joy. It's your joy. Live your joy beneath the eye. Be devoted to your joy and your happiness. Be devoted to your joy and your happiness beneath the nose. And a willingness to take risks. And a willingness to take risks. Chin, to be vulnerable. To be vulnerable. Chest, to know what you want. To know what you want beneath the arm. And to share it. And to share it. The wrist. It's all here within you. And it's all here within you, in the top of the head. Your tension is your desire, it's your love, and it's important. Your tension is your desire, it's your love, and it's important. The eyebrow, you're important. You're important. The side of the eye, your desire matters. Your desire matters underneath the eye. It's allowed to be big. It's allowed to be big underneath the nose. You're allowed to feel it and express it. You feel it and you express it. The chin, making changes on the cellular level. Making changes on the cellular level. Chest, that what you want wants you. That what you want, what wants you underneath the arm. And it's done. And it's done. To the wrist. Breathe. Breathe. Top of the head. Mind, body, heart, spirit. In mind, body, heart, and spirit. In all the love, magic, and miracles. In all the love, magic, and miracles. Release your hand. Let it go in and out and breathe. Yeah. Just notice the impact of the tapping. Your willingness to show up for yourself, to listen. Even if this is long. Okay. Just notice if anything else is here, is alive for you right now. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself and being here with me. You amaze me. I love you.